lamp's only got one bulb in it. You know your eyes is the most important thing you got, and once they're gone, they're just gone, that's all. You never want to get them back, no way. Now your mama's always right. And the sooner we get this new bulb into this lamp, the better we're gonna be. Now then. Don't you know that phone just got a ring? It's... All right, I'm coming. Honey, do like I say and put this bulb in the lamp before you read any more. One of these days I'm gonna pull that...
That's right, you know. Well, my dear, don't just sit there. Go... Help! My glasses. Steady now, steady. Careless children. Ouch! Young lady, you should be more careful. Glass, you know, light bulbs made of glass, my dear, should be treated with respect. However, no real harm done. None at all. Our glass is made very strong and tough. Oh, allow me to introduce myself. Professor J. Lumen Lightly, Ph.D., G.E., President of the Little Men's Chowder Marching and Lamplighting Society.
How do you do, sir? I'm Nancy.
Fine. Excellent name, excellent. Oh, pardon me a moment while I generate. Now, don't be alarmed, Nancy. I'll be right with you. By the way, let's see why this book is so interesting that it kept you from putting in the new bulb. Oh, Fairy Tales of the Ages. Very commendable, very commendable. Fairy stories are excellent reading, excellent. However, if you really enjoy that sort of thing, there's more magic right here than you'll find in a dozen such books.
Right there?
Certainly, Nancy. Here in the lamp bulb. Now just hop inside for a minute and I'll show you.
But I couldn't. I'm too big.
Fiddlesticks. Now you leave everything to me. Now just a second while I get up to speed. Here we go. Well, I see you made it. Now for the real magic. Just look at that filament, that curly wire in front of you that looks like a big spring. It's the heart of the lamp, so to speak. And remember that you're only about 2 inches high at the moment. Actually, this filament is only 5/8 of an inch long. Yet, it's coiled from a tungsten wire 20 inches long and much finer than a single hair from your pretty head. In fact, to get it so fine, it has to be drawn through tiny holes in diamonds. Each little coil is only 1/1000th of an inch away from its neighbor. But they mustn't touch each other, or the lamp won't work properly. Now, how's that for magic, However, the tighter the filament is, the better it'll work because it won't lose so much heat. So we coil it again, which gets it down to its final length of only 5/8 of an inch. Coiled coils are only 7,000. None of the tiny coils or the bigger ones touch each other. By the way, Nancy, do you know how much 1,000th of an inch is?
Well, it must be very small.
Small indeed. Which just about 2/3 of 1/12th of nothing divided by 7. Yes, sir. And another thing. The filament controls the lamp life so that we have to regulate the filament design because the total radiation varies as the 4th power of the absolute temperature. And the life...
Professor, I think I'm lost in that 4th power.
Oh, sorry. I got wrapped up in my subject. But here's what I mean. How long a light bulb lasts depends largely on how hot the filament is burned. When our scientists know how a bulb is to be used, they control the temperature of the filament to give the proper balance between the most useful light and the longest life.
How do you mean?
Like this. A filament burned only red hot doesn't give much light, but will last for years. That's as it is in a heat lamp. But when you need a tremendous amount of light from a bulb, its filament has to burn at a superheat to produce that light, but will live as a photographic lamp. The bulbs you use in your home are so made that the filament burns at just the right temperature to give you lots of light, economically useful. I suppose, Nancy, that you think a fine watch is a real marvel of accuracy. All those little screws and gears and things. But when you stop to think of the truly amazing precision and uniformity of this tiny bit of coiled wire, and when you also realize that we make millions of these little marvels all just alike, and remember that they're only one of many parts of a light bulb which you can buy anywhere in the United States for only a few pennies, I think you'll agree with me that you are at this moment standing inside an object as amazing as anything in your book of fairy tales, huh? Ah, yes. But we must get you out now. You do look a little bit cramped. There we are, as good as new. But don't go away. We're just getting started on this magic business. E to the x plus the square root of 2. Lamp rise up and light up too. Aha! Now then, here's a little number with a lot of very special magic.
But it's just like the other one.
Well, we'll see about that. Here, Nancy, take a good look.
My goodness, it's tiny. Is it really a lamp? I mean, will it light up?
Certainly. This midget grain of wheat lamp is used by doctors. It's only 1/16 of an inch wide and 1/2 an inch long. It burns less than 2/10 of a watt, and it would take 3,500 of these lamps to weigh 1 pound. Lamps of this type enable surgeons to perform delicate operations and examinations right inside the human body. These doctors have just used one to fish the safety pin out of this little boy's gizzard. And believe me, he's plenty happy about the whole thing. These tiny lamps are truly lifesavers. Now then, here's another little number that may interest you. Surprised you, eh, Nancy? Never underestimate the old professor. Well, go ahead. Pick it up and look it over. That's a 50,000 watt bulb. But this one lamp uses as much electricity for light as the most powerful radio stations use for broadcasting. Why, the 1.5 pounds of tungsten in this lamp would make filaments for 21 million grain of wheat lamps. Well, Nancy, you've seen the smallest and the largest light bulbs in the world. That gives you some idea of the extremes that we go to give folks the kind of light bulbs they need. Now I want to show you a few of the thousands and thousands of shapes and sizes in between, because there's magic in every one of them, too. Now, here's a bulb that has a built-in reflector to put lots of light just where you want it. The bulb itself is made with a special reflector shape. Next, a thin layer of aluminum is vaporized on the inside of the glass. The bulb is then filled to just the right level with an acid which eats away the aluminum coating from the front of the bulb. The acid is then taken out and the bulb washed and dried, leaving the reflector part shiny and the front section clear. Bulbs of this type have a multitude of uses for flood and spotlighting. And when made of extra hard glass, they serve outdoors as well. Now, the same bulb with a different filament gives us infrared heat radiation to take the aches and pains from sore and tired muscles. The same radiation that cuts down the time of many drying tasks from hours to minutes. Still another use of this bulb shape gives us an entirely different reflector lamp. It is the sun lamp, which is rich in vitamin D and provides us with tanning ultraviolet radiation of nature's sunshine. Today, these 3 lamps bring the light, warmth, and health protection of sunlight indoors whenever and wherever we want it. Now we come to one of the most revolutionary lamps ever developed, the all-glass sealed beam headlamp that never grows dim. Your daddy has them on his new car, Nancy, and he'll find that right up to the end of its long, useful life, the lamp will be giving as much light as it did the day he bought his car. This is possible because the entire headlamp is a one-piece unit. The accurately molded reflector and lens are made of rugged, hard glass and are fused together so that dirt and moisture can never enter to affect the mirror-like built-in reflecting surface. The whole thing is one big light bulb. You see, Nancy, old-type headlights were made of separate parts: lens, reflector, bulb, and gasket. And after a short time, the bulb got black, dirt and moisture tarnished the reflector, and cut the light way down, in half in many instances. Yes, in the old days, your dad's headlights were pretty difficult to drive behind. But now he can see comfortably and drive with much greater safety. He gets new car lighting always. The same revolutionary principle has been applied to many other types of lamps, such as the airplane landing light and the locomotive headlamp, which certainly have to be brilliant and dependable.
Goodness, Professor Lightly, I never realized there were so many different kinds of such important light bulbs.
That's true, Nancy. When most people think of light bulbs, they think only of the bulbs they use in their homes. They aren't aware of the fact that all the other lamp bulbs used in science, commerce, and industry have come from the same research that created the bulbs in their homes. Yet there are other lamps working indirectly to make their living easier and more pleasant. Why, we even make a bulb that works deep down under the ocean to help divers in their dangerous but necessary work. Now, just a moment while I get my magic wand. Now then, we'll go on a little trip and take a look at a few of these unusual lamps. Are you ready? Here we go. Integral x dx times 3. May the powers of light fly away with thee.